Hey everybody, welcome back to In the Gutter, Let's Talk Comics. I'm Wade. This video is going to be part 7 of the Screenwriter collection. We're going to look at boxes 15, 16, and 17 with more Batman and Punisher, a Harley / Ivy box, and a box labeled DC Event Books. Can't wait to check it out. So let's start with the first one, more Batman and Punisher.
All right, this box is labeled Batman Eternal, Punisher, Gotham by Midnight, and Batman White Knight. All right, so we have Batman White Knight number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Batman Castle of the White Knight, Curse of the White Knight, Azrael, number 1, Curse of the White Knight, number 2, Gotham by Midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Arkham Manor, number 2, Batman Gotham After Midnight, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Batman and the Mad Monk, Dark Moon Rising, number 1, Batman's Secret, number 1, The Batman's Grave, number 1, Batman Eternal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, we're on a roll, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, and 52. Batman and Robin Eternal, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. All right, Punisher War Journal, number 1. Number 2, Punisher War Journal, Civil War. I can't see a number. Oh, 1. There it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, Punisher Warzone number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Punisher number 1. Again, number 1. Number 2. Dark Rain Punisher number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 6. Dark Rain The List Punisher number 1. Punisher 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. Frankencastle 17. 18. Dark Wolverine Frankencastle number 88. Oh, that's never right. Frankencastle Dark Wolverine. What the heck? Number 19. 89. 20. I think that's a crossover and a continuance of another title I'm not familiar with. Oh, and I'm sure it's pretty self-evident. All right. Frankencastle 21, The Punisher, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, probably 15 with an action. Well, this is number 1 again. Annual number 1. 218, 219, the newer Punisher number 1.
All right, the Batman Punisher box wasn't terribly exciting. There's a couple of pulls in here. So we had the first and second issue of the Punisher War Journal series. These were very hot when they came out, and I think issue 6 and 7 featured a Wolverine battle, which was very popular. But this is actually a pretty cool series. Probably undervalued in my opinion, but what do I know? And then the constant in this collection are the action figure variant covers. So Punisher was no exception. Got yourself a Frankencastle Punisher action figure variant with plenty of weaponry. And something that just looked like a good read to me. Another Scott Snyder, James Tynion series with Batman Eternal number 1 from the New 52. This one I have not read yet, so check that out. And honestly, those were the highlights of that box, I felt. So we're going to move on to the Harley Ivy box next.
All right, this box has a Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy motif. Very cool. Untaped bags. It looks like they might be going in different directions. So we'll see what happens there. We start with Catwoman number 31, 26, 32, 36, Annual number 3, Adventures in the DC Universe 3, oh, Black Canary number 1, iZombie number 1, Starfire number 1, DC Comics Bombshells number 1, number 2, number 3, Prez number 1, Crush and Lobo number 8, I'm sorry, 1 of 8, 2, Supergirl number 1, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow number 1, Mother Panic number 1, Lois Lane number 1, 2, 3, 4, Batgirl number 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Batgirl New 52 number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 35, Rebirth 1, Supergirl, Gotham Academy number 1, Arkham Manor number 1, Batgirl number 10, DC Rebirth, Batgirl number 1, Black Canary Oracle, Birds of Prey number 1, Wonder Woman Rebirth 1, 2, oops, sorry, variant cover, 2, Sensational Comics featuring Wonder Woman number 1, the John Byrne Wonder Woman 101, Wonder Woman 2, Wonder Woman 1, Wonder Woman 600, Wonder Woman New 52 number 1, Wonder Woman Black and Gold number 1, Wonder Woman 77 meets the Bionic Woman number 1, number 2, Harley Quinn number 0, Harley Quinn 1, Harley Quinn number 23, Harley Quinn Rebirth 1, Harley Quinn 25th Anniversary Special number 1, Harley Quinn 42, Joker's Daughter number 1, Catwoman number 1, another Catwoman 100-page spectacular. Let's see, the box is going 2 different directions, so let's do this quick. These are random and untaped, so we'll see what we get here. Thor number 34, Batman and the Joker Deadly Duel number 5. Oh boy. Number 6. Number 1, I think, yeah. 2, 3, sorry. 4, Gotham City Year 1, number 1. Batman the Killing Joke, probably a second print. I could probably remember the pink one was. Gotham Year 1, number 2. Number 3. Number 4. 0 Point Batman Fortnite 1. Another one in a bag. Zero War Fortnite Marvel 0 War 1. Another one. 2, 3, 5. Batman Fortnite Foundation number 1. Here are some that are not even in bags. Oh boy, I'm gonna do this. Spider-Man Venom 1 free comic book day. Oh, these are free comic book. Dawn of the DC, Uncanny Avengers, Dawn of DC, and a primer of Dawn of DC 1. Crypt of Shadows number 1, Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 1, Perry White number 1, Detective 27, 0 War number 4, Batman Killing Time number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Batman 89 number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, Free Comic Book Day, Captain Underpants, Dogman, Cat Kid Comics. Black Adam 1, 2, Batman One Bad Day, Riddler 1, Judgment Day, Free Comic Book Day, Superman 75 30th Anniversary Edition, Fantastic Four number 1, 5, Murder World Avengers number 1, Predator number 2, Deadpool number 1, Secret Invasion number 1, Blade Vampire Nation number 1. Strange Adventures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, DC vs. Vampires 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, DC versus Vampires Hunters one shot, DC versus Vampires Killers one shot, and Thor 29 and 32.
All right, that was a Harley and Ivy box. One cachet of free comic book day books were in that box as well. So when I owned my comic book stores, free comic book day wasn't a thing, and I discovered it, obviously, coming back 20 years later, as I've mentioned a few times. I think it's a really cool idea. I'm not sure the logistics or what it costs the retailers, but I assume it's some sort of loss leader partnership with the publishers, or you share the cost, or however that would work. But I think I would go nuts with that, and I would probably in my day had ordered everything and tied it with a sale, and get as much foot traffic as possible, because I like to flip over all the rocks when it came to trying to create new business for my stores. And having people get comic books that they can actually take home and read is the best way to do it, in my opinion. So this little stack just had the Free Comic Book Day Spider-Man and Venom 1, a Dawn of DC's Night Terror Special Edition, Uncanny Avengers #1, a Captain Underpants, Dogman, Cat Kid Comic Club, all written and illustrated by Dave Pilkey. And we had an Avengers X-Men Eternals Judgment Day, as well as another copy of Dawn of DC Night Terrors. I didn't do my homework there. Dawn of DC, the primer, or the primer, I think, as some people call it. And it's got a really nice cover. But yeah, free special edition of that one. Good ways to try out some new stuff. That box also had iZombie #1, which was the second appearance of iZombie, and I guess the first appearance was in our House of Mysteries Halloween annual from 2009. This spawned a television series I wasn't even aware of, so now I'm curious. So this is #1. Something just had a lot of appeal to me, the Starfire one with Connor and Palmiotti. I like Amanda Connor's work, so it's just a cool cover and a cool character. And another cool cover by Michael Turner this time was Supergirl #1 from the 2005 series. Definitely has a stylistic twist, very recognizable. And a spec book, The Infinite Frontier from DC, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow #1. Apparently this was kicked around as a possible movie idea where she's a much more aggressive version of Supergirl. Interesting. Very awesome Adam Hughes cover of Batgirl #1 from the New 52. And this is the return of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. Love that cover. And dipping back in time a little bit to the 90s, 1996, the Black Canary Oracle Birds of Prey #1, which the first official team up as Birds of Prey. And I guess they were in other comics together, but this is the first time they've been the Birds of Prey officially. Some good old nostalgia. We have the first issue of Wonder Woman 77 meets the Bionic Woman, Because You Demanded It. And this is a little puzzling to me, but I would have thought the Harley Quinn series would have been much more sought after, and I think there may have been a bubble that burst while I was away from comics, but this has the Harley Quinn 0 and the Harley Quinn #1. So this one's got a lot of star power in it too. Interesting that it's not as sought after now. Maybe it's overproduced. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Another good book was #23. Has the Bruce Timm sketch variant cover in the blue line. It's a very cool thing to have. And this just caught my eye because it was creepy and cool. Is the Batman Joker's daughter #1. Another storyline I hadn't read, and I'm curious about that one. And a little nostalgia and a little Scott Campbell. Mix them together, and you get the Catwoman 80th anniversary 100-page spectacular. That was a good one. It would also make a very nice back tattoo. And one of my favorite comic books of all time is The Killing Joke, Batman the Killing Joke by Alan Moore and Brian Boland and John Higgins. This pink one, I believe, is the second printing. And I liked all the different colors. So again, in this era of variants, it'd be fun to collect all the versions of The Killing Joke. Again, sort of something I would talk to about with my son is the Batman Foundation Fortnite team up, and I think I have the cardstock and the polybag versions of those. Um, and I think it comes with game content and codes that you can unlock in Fortnite. Sorry if I'm wrong about that. And everyone should own a Detective 27. I mean, that's just how it is. So if you can't get the real one, get the facsimile edition. I think you should just own this comic book. It's a pretty important book to have. All right. Well, that was the Harley Ivy box highlights, and we're going to take a look next at the DC event books.
This box is labeled DC Event Books. So the DC Universe Rebirth 1, the Multiversity 1, Total Justice 3, 2, Batman Nightfall Dark Universe 1, Event Leviathan 1, Forever Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the original Crisis 1, on Infinite Earths, by the way, 4, 5, 6, Dark Multiverse Crisis on Infinite Earths 1, Identity Crisis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Infinite Crisis 1, the OMAC Project 1, Infinite Crisis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Brave New World 1, Heroes in Crisis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Doomsday Clock 1, 2, 3, 4, Blackest Night 0, Green Lantern 43 tie-in to Blackest Night, Blackest Night 1, Blackest Night 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Brightest Day 0, 1, Deceased 1, Deceased 2, Deceased 3, 4, 5, 6, Flashpoint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Batman Night of Vengeance 1, 2, 3, DC vs. Vampires 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Cosmic Odyssey 1, 2, 3, and 4. Abyss Hell Sentinel 1, Patterns of Fear 1, Alien Invasion Book 1. It's an early McFarlane cover, right? Invasion Battleground Earth Book 2, Invasion Book 3, World Without Heroes. 52 week 1, Final Night 1, 2, 3, Final Night Parallax 1, Emerald Knight, Final Night 4, Underworld 1, 2, and 3. Minutemen 1, Comedian 1, Comedian 2, Kingdom Come 1, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Justice 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, spoiler alert, 11, and 12.
All right, DC event books. I think this was the first time I bought a collection that had any Crisis on Infinite Earths that wasn't the complete series. So these are kind of those orphan strays that you get from time to time. So this collection had Crisis on Infinite Earths #1, which is the first Blue Beetle, Ted Cord Blue Beetle from acquired from the Charlton line. And then we skipped to #4, which was the first Lady Quark, Dr. Light, Kamiyo Hoshi, and Lord Volt, and apparently the second appearance of John Constantine, which I was not aware of. That's pretty interesting. I mean, literally, I've had this book 85, so yeah, I was 15 years old when this came out, and I've read it a few times and owned it many, many times. I did not know there was a second John Constantine. We have #5, which is just a continuance of the story. I don't think there's any key appearances in there. And then #6, we have a bunch of the Charlton characters moving over the DC universe, including Captain Atom, Judo Master. Boy, my writing is horrible. Nightshade, Peacemaker, Question, and Thunderbolt. So there you go. So now it's a question of, do I seek out these other issues and fill in the set, or do I release them in the wild as orphans because other people need strays? I don't know. So I'll have to think long and hard on that one. This is the weight of the world that is my life. And then we jump to the modern times for the Countdown to Infinite Crisis, 80-page #1. And this is the death of Blue Beetle. So I've introduced Ted Cord and killed him off in one single episode of In the Gutter. Infinite Crisis #3 is the first Jamie Reyes, who's this third Blue Beetle, and he's not in costume in this issue, but he is in #5. So there you have it, Blue Beetle fans. And then we had a Green Lantern 43 from the 2009 series. This is the Blackest Night prologue, and it is where the Black Hand becomes a Black Lantern. And it's a very cool, creepy cover with Bruce Wayne's gravestone. Very intriguing. And I just watched the 3-part DC documentary HBO Max, and they talked about how Flashpoint led into the reboot, another reboot of the DC universe from Jeff Johns, and wasn't his original intention, I guess, but it ended up launching all of the new reboot. So this is Flashpoint 1. This is the first Thomas Wayne as Batman in this alternate universe or multiverse. First Elemental Woman and first Outsider. I like Jeff Johns' stuff a lot. And then there was a 3-part Flashpoint Batman Night of Vengeance miniseries, and this was a story of Thomas Wayne in a Flashpoint story. So this one, Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso. This looks like something I am going to read at the top of the pile because I have all 3 issues, and it's a curiosity about Thomas Wayne as Batman. Very cool Starlin Mignola miniseries with Cosmic Odyssey. So the first comic book store I worked at in 1987 was called Comic Odyssey, and the owner took the name from this series, Cosmic Odyssey, by dropping the S. And I also learned how to spell Odyssey correctly because we had to write that word down a lot when we had the store. So it has all 4 issues. Fairly early Mike Mignola, great Jim Starlin cosmic space stuff. Probably undervalued in my opinion as far as a good read and a kind of a milestone sort of thing. I think it's pretty recognizable. Most people know it, but easy to find, good to read, recommended. And then this book, boy, this was a sleeper for a while, but this is DC's Alien Alliance from the Invasion crossover, and this is book one, which was early money on Todd McFarlane. So this is a Todd McFarlane book. So obviously people were collecting McFarlane when this one kind of people missed it, and then they had to go back and find this one. So this was a hot commodity for a while, but cool cover, lots of good McFarlane artwork in there. So that is part 7. We have more boxes to dig through and share. So hopefully you'll check it out. And in the meantime, keep your mind in the gutter.